Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the best centers in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. But before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 15,000 subscriber mark on the channel. The goal was to hit it by the end of November. We have been killing it the last few days. Less than 100 subscribers away from 15K. Trying to hit that in the next couple of days. I think it's very possible. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, we got about 23 of the best centers in MyTEAM on this list. If there's anybody I left off the list that you'd like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to let me know. And without further ado, Dwight Howard, back of A tier, top of B tier. We're gonna have about 5 guys per tier. Dwight probably still cracks the top 10 at center, but not by a ton. Great inside big. There are really only 3 truly usable true inside bigs in the game right now. Dwight is the third one of those. He is a very, very good card across the board, but he's a little teensy bit undersized. Not really. He's like 6'11", but he doesn't have the size of Wilt or Shaq. What he does have definitely is still incredible athleticism, great speed, elite level defender, super duper all around card outside of the ability to shoot the ball. And also he's not much of a playmaker at all, but I still think Dwight athletically, and just because how good he is defensively, rebounding, all that type of stuff, it does crack the A tier, but not by much. Bobby Portis, I love this card. I think you could make an argument for him top 10, 100%. He is really, really good, and I'm glad to see him getting Evos. The Bucks have not lost in the in-season tournament yet either. As I'm recording this video, I do believe the Bucks are playing in the in-season tournament tonight. By the time y'all see this video, that game will obviously be over and will be decided. Fingers crossed the Bucks win that game. They play the Wizards. You would think they will. And if they do, I mean, he's already got 76 speed, a great release, really good all-around dunker. I love his release, love his release. Defensively, he's not bad. He's as good. I'm not kidding when I say I would rather use Bobby Portis than Dwight Howard. For my own playstyle, I would rather use Ruby Bobby Portis than Diamond Dwight Howard. So for that reason, I'm putting him A tier. Now, Naz Reid's not quite as good as Bobby Portis in my opinion, but he's pretty darn close. He also has an argument for A tier. I think I will leave him in B tier for right now, though. He's faster than Naz and Portis, and he's a better finisher than Portis, but I like Portis' release better. Defensively, they're pretty similar. I like the fact that Portis is 2 inches taller as well. I really do like this Naz Reid card a lot, though, still, and I think he's been very, very good. I think the Timberwolves as a whole have been very good. They play the Kings in the in-season tournament tonight as I'm recording this video as well, so fingers crossed they win. He also still has the potential to go all the way to Diamond, so he and Portis are both cards worth keeping an eye on. Wendell Carter Jr., he will be getting an Evo on Monday. We'll talk about all the tournament battle stuff in a different video, and they're all happen to be back-to-back, which is weird. But Wendell, I will also put B tier right now. As a Ruby, I think that's fair. He will be getting his last Evo, which will put him as an Amethyst, and we'll see what that boosts up. He could use some defensive badges as well. Speed is decent. He's a pretty good shooter, decent release, pretty good athlete. I think he is probably the worst of these 3, but honestly, they're all pretty close. Kind of interchangeable, but I'm very interested to see what Wendell looks like as a Amethyst. Anthony Davis is better than all the cards we looked at so far, but not by much. I think he also is in the borderline top 10 spot at the center position. All these guys are pretty close together. AD has half anchor. He can stretch the floor. Nice release. Pretty athletic. Decent speed. I like the card. I don't like Bill Walton. He doesn't have great size. He's not an elite inside card. He's pretty good, but his speed is slow and he can't shoot. He's not a good card. Only reason I included him is because he did come out relatively recently still. Well, not really, but he's not very good. He will probably not be on the next tier list. I do think Chet deserves an S tier spot. I really like Chet. He might be the last guy in S, but I do think he definitely deserves that spot. At center, his biggest flaw is the fact that he has 48 strength, but he's 7'1", great wingspan, really, really great all-around card outside of that. Very low strength is annoying, but he does have half anchor, half chase down, some good defensive badges. He's still a really good card, and I think defensively even, he can be very impactful. It's just the 48 strength can be annoying against a true inside big, can result in a lot of offensive rebounds and putbacks and getting dunked on, mashed, all that type of stuff at times, but I still think Chet's an incredible card, and I think he deserves an S tier spot. Chris Bosh is top of A tier, right outside the top 5 probably for me at the center position, but also very close. Very, very good card. He is able to get every single badge. He shoots the ball pretty well. He's a pretty good interior defender, great rebounder, really, really good card. A little bit undersized player build wise, kind of hurts the card a bit, but I like him a lot. I think he's very, very solid. Cliff Robinson, I mean, I have to put some of these guys B tier, but I gotta say all 3 guys in B tier so far are cards I like. Cliff Robinson, another card I like, defends very, very well, very versatile card. Honestly, he's very similar to Anthony Davis and even Chris Bosh in terms of being a more of a 3-and-D type of center with some athletic ability, pretty good speed. I like Cliff Robinson a lot. Dino Raja is decent, not great. He's an okay budget center, but he's only got like a 55 3-ball, which means his jumper is honestly pretty inconsistent, even though he has a really nice release. Defensive badges and stats on this card are also not that great. I know he's a budget GOAT in terms of the name, but the card doesn't quite live up to that. Mikan, also super low 3-ball, really nice release, decent defender, but a little bit slow. I think I have to put him D tier simply just because of the strength of this list, and I got to have a few guys down toward that bottom, but I actually don't hate Mike, and I think he's definitely better than a guy like Bill Walton. Giannis is the best, like right there at the top at the center position. He's one of the best couple cards in the game. He might not be the best actual center option right now, but he's right there. Elite at power forward or center, can get every badge, incredible across the board, does everything incredibly well. He is an amazing card. Shooting isn't incredible, but he can stretch the floor when you badge him up, put a shoe on him, all that type of stuff. He's a pretty good shooter as well. Hakeem's an inside, and he's not super fast, but he is very, very good player build wise. With that being said, yeah, he's better than a couple. I think Micah has to move up. That's what I got to do. I got to move Micah up because he's going to stand out here in this D tier. His ability to shoot the ball decently with an okay release does improve him a bit. I think Hakeem, despite being a good inside, is still very much still only an inside, and I just don't love the card. I like Embiid. It seems like more than most people do. I think he's got the same speed as AD. He is not slow. He's not fast, but he can shoot the ball pretty well. He's a great interior card still on both ends of the court defensively. He doesn't have the speed and athleticism of a couple of other bigs that we've been using, but he's still a very good card, and I think he's 100% S tier. Kareem is insane. He's basically got 90 speed. He can shoot the three. He's 7'2" with a massive player ability. He's the biggest center in the game, pretty much, at least of the good ones. And he can also shoot a wide open three. He's an insane inside card. He is unbelievably good. He's the best center in the game, in my opinion, right now. Mikhail sucks. He can't shoot, and he really can't play make much either. He doesn't have elite speed. He's not a very good card. Marc Gasol makes it on a D tier really only because he can shoot the ball and he has off anchor. He has 40 speed, which is pretty much a liability, but he barely squeaks his way into the C tier. Jokic, I think, is top of C. I actually like him offensively. Defensively, he sucks, and he's kind of slow as well, but he does have off limitless. He's kind of a fun card to use offensively. I don't think he's truly great, but I think C tier is probably fair. Serge Ibaka is definitely B. I like the card. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's next level incredible, but he's got gold anchor. He's got okay speed, mid-60s, can hit it open three. Very nice budget card, though, and I think he's very, very solid. Definitely a really good option. Shaq will go... Shaq is going to go S tier still. This will be the last tier list that Shaq is S tier on in all likelihood, but he's 7'1". I think I'm just going to suck it up and have 6 insides or 6 centers in S tier still. No, he's not. I can't do it. I don't want to use... I would rather use Chris Bosh than Shaq. And this is my list. I'm putting him A tier, and I'm actually moving Bosh up. I'm moving Bosh to S, and I'm putting both Shaq and Wilt in the A tier. They're the same card. Wilt's slightly better. Shaq has a better player build, but Wilt's like 2 speed faster. He's a better free throw shooter by a little bit. He can hit a mid-range a little better, and his takeover's a little better. Plus, the Pro Pass version of Wilt can get every badge, whereas Shaq can get every badge too, but the regular version of Wilt can't, but still, I think they're both A tier. They're both inside centers who can't shoot the ball at all. That's a huge liability. I honestly, I would rather use all the guys in S tier. I would, so I'm putting him A tier. Sean Bradley's 7'5", but he's 25 speed and can't shoot. I don't care how big he is. He's terrible. He's D tier. He sucks. Tim Duncan can't shoot threes, but he's a really good inside big. He does have decent speed. He can hit a mid-range at a high level, and his release isn't bad, but the problem is he just really can't shoot. 43 ball is not enough to consistently hit whatsoever, and he is the last card on this list. As a whole, I think this actually turned into a very good tier list. I think Wilt and Shaq being A tier is something that's going to annoy some people, but I really think it's fair. I'd rather use Bosh and Chet at this point in the game at the center position, and I'm finally just accepting I don't like inside centers anymore, and as good as Wilt, Shaq, Dwight, guys like that can be, they're not for me anymore, and on my tier lists, I don't have them very high at this point, so just my opinion. I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.